Alrighty, fellas, good morning. Welcome to PokeMMO Stream Recap 550, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, discussion, and a little tap inside the PokeMMO community on what's going on. Hilariously, this is also taking place on day 5 of Shiny War, so it's Stream Recap 550 on day 5, the beginning of day 5 of Shiny War. I've been very slow at waking up this morning. I'm very tired, but we're still getting good progress. I'm over 80,000 encounters dry right now for my first Shiny in Shiny Wars. And then Daryl messaged me. He got himself a birthday Shiny on his birthday. This is today. I'm sorry, this is 5 minutes ago. I didn't realize that. He got himself a birthday Shiny at exactly 30,000 encounters. That is clean. We've seen like one encounter shinies. Thank you, Planer, for the sub. I'll thank you properly here in a quick second. We've seen one encounter shinies, 2 encounter, 3 encounter, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've seen 100k plus. I don't know if I've seen a single 30k because it's just such a specific number. I don't think I've seen 30k even, bro. 30k even on the birthday is truly a stars aligned moment. So congratulations to you, gamer. That is incredibly fucking cool and impressive. But welcome to another stream recap. Hopefully we have some cool topics to yap about today. I was actually just talking to my boy Shizu in Discord and learning a little bit of German. That's the most Shiny War thing. Like, I'm just shiny hunting, talking to someone in Discord, and he's teaching me how to order a beer in German. I think it was, I'll try here. Was it Ein Maas Bitte, which is I think like one Stein please, or one beer please. Ein Maas Bitte. We're gonna work on it and see how it comes up at the end of stream. But let's go ahead and just jump back into our shiny hunting for now, and I'm sure topics will come up throughout the day. Okay, we got a few things to catch up on. First things first, bro, I'm so dry. I had a mod message me. Which is very nice. And there's people who are drier than me in Shiny War, okay? So let's keep that in mind. Keep that perspective. But I appreciate, bro, Plane, who messaged me, was like, 80k is an insane number. Good luck, Shiny soon. This is incredibly, like, above and beyond nice. He didn't have to do this. Like, that is incredibly fucking nice, Plane. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And then Broken Zero said, what mon should I use for shiny hunting, shiny catching, or hunting? Breeloom. Breeloom is just, like, the best Pokemon for catching Pokemon, shiny hunting, doing everything. It's just the best overall catching Pokemon. And then a Smeargle in the back. Breeloom and a Smeargle are like the two core utility Pokemon you end up creating in PokeMMO. You can do a ton of different movesets on Smeargle and Breeloom. And anything else that I miss? Someone asked about, a good question is like, someone asked about the red fight. And there is a question of the first time you do the red fight, should you tell someone to look up a guide, or should you just let them try it on their own? And like, I honestly, the first red fight, I would say just blind try. The red re-fight, I would say look up a guide and, get a team together and properly yada, 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 right? On the first try, I think the first red fight is a good example of a piece of PokeMMO content. Unless you want to. If you want to, go for it. But don't over min-max it. The first time you do the red fight, in my opinion, I think, dude, try it without a guide and see how it goes. I do recommend. The problem is that it's really nice to pop a Riches Charm and a BP Charm, because your first red fight is going to give you a ton of Pokeyen. I'm pretty sure if you pop a 100% Riches Charm and beat red, you can earn like 600k or 500k, and then the BP is like 30k BP or so. It's been a while, maybe 35k BP. It's been a while since I did my first red fight, but the first red fight gives you such an insane reward. So it's on one end, as long as you can beat it within 60 minutes, that's fine. But on one end, like, you want to make sure you can beat it and not waste those charms. But on the other end, it's so fun to try your first time. So it's up to you. But it's honestly like, it's so down the middle. It's so tough. What do y'all mean by dry in this? Like, no shiny encounters? Yeah, just encounters, no shiny. Sometimes people ask like, oh, would you say 80k dry or would you say 50k dry? Because, the shiny rate's 30,000. So would you subtract? We just say our total encounters dry, because I think if you start doing this now, people have to start doing math. If you like say 50k dry, oh, it means 80, which is obviously easy math, but like, it's just easier. And I think it's more widespread to just say your total amount of encounters, if that makes sense, dry. So any other questions that I missed in chat? I don't think so. Good little quick tips and quick things to run down is always fun in the recap. Wait, someone asked a really interesting question. Okay, so earlier someone asked, like, about Shiny Lock, and I was explaining, Shiny Lock does technically exist, but not in the way you may think it does. It's only to prevent bots and bot farms from, like, trying to on spammed new accounts, right? If you have 8 gym badges, for anyone wondering, if you have 8 gym badges in any one region, you cannot be Shiny Locked. That's all you need. 8 gym badges in any region, and it's impossible to be locked, okay? But then someone said, wait, so on a fresh account, because you don't get the encounter counter until your first Elite Four. So on a fresh account with 8 gym badges, does that mean you could technically encounter a shiny before your encounter counter, but not be locked, obviously, and then, because you obviously get one during the storyline, and then would it, I guess, well, and then they asked, like, would it have the stats, like when you get a shiny in Pokemon, you get like the little, it tells you like how many encounters you got it at, right? Like on the stat page. I guess, okay, when someone gets a shiny via the storyline, it still tracks, is what people are saying. But I was really interested for a quick. I was like, if you could get some collectible Pokemon where it was like you couldn't, that was really interesting. It would be like a shiny Pokemon in 2026, but without a stat. But I think even when you don't have, people are saying that, yeah, I didn't know this. People are saying the encounter counter retroactively adds your encounters. Like not from before, but like, if you started playing post the encounter counter update, not before the update, but post update, which is pretty interesting. So if you play a storyline account, that's really cool. So when you play a storyline account and you unlock the encounter counter, it goes to like 2,000 encounters. Is that right, chat? I didn't know that. That's super interesting, and it makes sense because you can. It does not mean shiny lock does not mean, oh, if you don't have 8 gym badges, it's impossible to get a shiny. We see people get storyline shinies all the time. For those who don't know, we've talked about this a billion times, but I hate talking about it because Shiny Lock is such a fear-monger thing. But it's because why it's so important to spread information about it. The way that Shiny Lock works is if you don't make progress in a PokeMMO storyline, or the first storyline specifically, in your first storyline, if you don't make progress and you sit at the same location for I think like 32 to 40 hours, it takes a very, very long time. 32 to 40 hours of not making storyline progress, aka like getting a gym badge. Even if you like just get a gym badge, you'll probably be like, not locked. You could get shiny locked because they're going to think that you're a bot and they're going to double check your account to make sure that you aren't like, botting for shinies to sell, right? It is literally just an anti-bot measurement, and it affects very, very, very few, very, very few people. I was actually one of the few people it affected because I was trying to do an only shinies account from scratch, and me and a bunch of other people, mostly the other people, honestly, discovered that shiny lock does technically exist, but it became a whole like misunderstood fear-monger thing, unfortunately. It's an anti-bot thing, and it is it's used to prevent bots and ruining the shiny economy in the market, as well as once again, if you have 8 badges, it's just, okay. So interesting. My cousin started playing 2 weeks ago, and he got 0 encounters when he got his encounter counter, but has EV farm before. Do you know if he? Okay, now I don't know, because now I'm interested. I don't know if the encounter counter actually reacts. Would it? I would need someone. I'm curious if we either test this ourselves, or we would need someone who's gotten a shiny in their first storyline specifically recently to like tell me what if the shiny has it in cat. Because if you could technically, if there's a way to get a shiny in 2026 with no encounter on it, that'd be like a really interesting collectible. But I don't know if that's possible. Okay, shout out to Piggy in my chat who gave me the heads up on this. I had not heard about this. He was like, yo, bro, did you hear that Team ETG popped 10,000 mysterious cherish balls? And I was like, no, I had not heard that. What the hell? Yeah, so apparently, and they're still behind. I assume that was a credit card swipe. Like, that's 10,000 cherish balls. That's got to be a swipe or something. I could be wrong. That's insane. And apparently he was saying they streamed it. They popped 10,000 mysterious cherish balls. And they're still down by like 100 points. Dude, that's Team Eclipse. Let's fucking go. Let me, how much is that? How much is 10,000? I've said this before. One of the most wrong times, was it 2025s, I assume? One of the wrongest I've ever been in PokeMMO was my thoughts on mysterious balls into Shiny War. When they allowed, I don't like mysterious balls very much in Pokemon. I think it's a well-known thing. I think mysterious balls are probably the most cash grabby thing the devs have ever done, but it's probably one of the only cash grabby things in my personal opinion. But I think it's pretty, blatant in my opinion. Anyways, I don't love mysterious balls, but the point of this is that in the first year of Shiny Wars, they allowed mysterious balls, and I was really against that. I was not a fan of that. There were other people who were like, oh, this ruins Shiny Wars, this like invalidates the winner. I was like, that's too far. I don't agree with that, but I do think it like undermines the competitiveness, like maybe 20% or so. I don't like the idea of someone being able to credit card swipe and buy a ton of mysterious balls and pop a bunch of shinies at a really low rate. If you don't know, mysterious balls like a 1 in 6,000 shiny rate, or sometimes even lower. Mysterious ultra balls having a 1 in 2,500 shiny rate. But those are my thoughts, okay? What I found out, I was wrong. I thought mysterious balls were going to undermine the competitiveness of Shiny War because they're so fast, right? But we found out that even though they're so fast, they're so expensive that it's not worth it when you could just egg or pop fossils. If you credit card swiped and popped fossils or eggs, which is a lot more of a time commitment and a proper grind and actually putting in the work, that would be a lot better points than popping balls. Because with balls, you just can't control. You can't control your what Pokemon you get, right? But apparently ETG got an aerodactyl, so that's honestly quite good. But they got 1 aerodactyl in 10,000 mysterious cherish balls. You know what? Did someone say what year the mysterious cherish balls were? Yeah, 10K is insane. 10K. Let's just do each one. 'Cause I don't know which one they were. They might have hit more. I'm not sure. Thank you for the honest information, Piggy. They could be anywhere from like 73K. No, that's so fair. You saw that. So they at least had an aerodactyl. They're still in second place. 10,000 times 73K. That would be 730 million Pokeyen. Oh my god! And then that would be a billion. Wow. So they spent like anywhere from 730 million Pokeyen to like a billion Pokeyen on mysterious balls. Maybe it was a mixture. Maybe it was dust balls as well. I'm not sure. I'm just hearing about this secondhand. That's, once again, I feel like, and maybe they just, if they already have so much Pokeyen to where like they already have the max amount of fossils and stuff they could pop in war, like fair enough, I guess. But I don't know. Gigan Aerodactyl is also awkward because you could have just popped fossils for that, but obviously you get it. So no, that's still really good. Let me. It's still so fast, right? That's the faster fossil, but it's interesting. I'm curious to see if any team this year in Shiny War will get like the entire Shiny Pokedex, because last year it was close. I think last year, Field Team 7 had gotten like every single shiny Pokemon in the game except for like 10 to 20. Isn't that right? They were only missing like 10 to 20 species lines or some shit. Like it was really close. What do you do then? What do you do in Shiny War when like you get every single shiny in the game? There's no way we've gotten that good at Shiny War where that's a concern. We're gonna run out of shinies. It's reminding me of like River Monsters, where the guy stopped hunting monsters because he caught them all. Like, dude, it's gonna be the same thing. Shiny hunters are gonna run out. They're gonna get every single shiny in the game and just have to go for like duplicates. We're gonna run out. That's gonna be really interesting. I'm curious to see what happens, dude. That's really fucking interesting. All right, but then circling back to a previous point, shout out Ketero, who actually sent me this screenshot. Ketero is a gamer who I trust in chat, who basically said, yo, I got a shiny during my storyline run before the Elite Four being done. And they sent this screenshot to confirm that you do get an encounter tracker. Even if you get a shiny prior to the encounter tracker, the game in the background is still tracking your encounters. So you still get like the encounter on your shiny. So you can see like on the summary page, 8,768. Now, I'm assuming the reason, there's a question of like, oh, why would the devs not give you the encounter tracker at the start then? I'm assuming it's just to let players like ease into the game more. Like, do you really need to give new players the encounter tracker, especially if it's going to retroactively track their stuff, or is that going to be like overwhelming and confusing? I think honestly, like, honestly, it's a debatable decision, but I respect the, it's really important not to overwhelm new players. I talk about this a lot when I make videos and guides for PokeMMO, is like, not every guide is for every person. Some guides are for new players and some guides are for veteran players or mid-game players or whatever it may be, right? And I purposefully will exclude extra information in guides for new players to not overwhelm players. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing like a super simple Ditto farming guide, right? I'll probably mention like, oh yeah, selling Ditto boxes, probably like, you know, selling 31 IV dittos, yada yada. I'm probably not going to mention like, oh yeah, 3 times 0 dittos can also be valuable, or you know, like there's going to be certain niche things like I'm not always going to be able to mention, or like sometimes a ditto with 1 times 31 and 2 times 30, you can also price check that, and that's valuable. You just can't mention everything because they're not going to remember anything, and it's just that's how I feel when I'm learning, at least. I'm speaking for myself, I guess personally. I think most people are like that though. You don't want to overwhelm a new player for sure. Okay, this could be absolutely insane. Apparently, we have a wild single encounter shiny PORYGON from the Rizzler, bro. Rizzly Bear. Oh my god. Now, this is okay. Number one, this is a big deal because this is a new spawn. You used to not be able. This is the first ever single encounter shiny PORYGON in the history of PokeMMO. Yes, it is, Barrels. Yes. Oh my, this is world's first. This is world's first. Holy shit. This being the username of the nickname of the Pokemon during the first ever. Anyways, this is insane. Look at his party. Shiny Krogon, Shiny Staryu, Shiny Breeloom. Dude. So this spot just got added. They just changed with the new encounter change. They just added this spot, right? It's still a single encounter, Russ. It's just with lures. Previously, prior to the encounter change, the only way you could get a wild Porygon was either via a swarm or via the Celadon City Game Corner in Kanto. You could like buy Porygon from the Game Corner, which is like super expensive. It was like 50,000 Pokeyen or something like that per one Porygon, or you could catch them via swarms, which is why Porygons often have a base value of like 10 to 12k. They're a pretty expensive base value Pokemon. This is insane. Yeah, this is the first ever wild shiny Porygon in PokeMMO. Like straight, well, no, sorry, like single encounter, because swarms are wild too. So, but like this is insane. First ever shiny Porygon with like a permanent spot. And he just finished a Krogon hunt that he made a video about. I need to watch today. That is apparently amazing. Called like the art of phasing, and how he went like 20 plus phases or something ridiculous for Krogon. I'll have to see it in a quick sec, but this is insane. I'm probably going to peace out here to get back to my shunting. I would love to see him catch it. Congratulations, Rizzly. He just made PokeMMO history. He just made PokeMMO history. He just made PokeMMO history. That is the first ever, like, permanent spot, single encounter shiny Porygon. You're a legend. You're a legend, dude. That is insane. That is insane, dude. Absolute legend. That's the world first. World first, dude. That's insane. I'm gonna head back to it's IVs. It's 2 times. Wait, can someone show me the IVs? Oh, I should have stuck around or something. Did you put it in global chat? Or someone's giving me a screenshot. Screenshot or global chat? The IVs are fucking bonkers. 23 HP, 30 attack, 31 defense. It's 20 plus in everything. It's 20 plus in everything. 2 times 31. What? 23 HP, 30 attack, 31. We have a screenshot coming in. We have a screenshot coming in. It's the world first Porygon is 20 plus in every stat. Are you serious? World first single encounter Porygon. I thought that it's also double 31 in defenses. Are you serious? 20 special attack, 22 speed, 20 plus HP, double 31 in defenses. Are you serious? That is insane. Dude, that is batshit. That is insane. That is probably, I think that overtakes, I think that's the coolest shiny I've seen so far in Shiny Wars. Like that being like, because that being the first ever Porygon from that spot and from the brand new wild encounter spot, like that's, oh man, that is insane. Congratulations to Rizzo making PokeMMO history. That's what Shiny War is all about, motherfuckers. That is fucking sick. And speaking of big Shiny War news, ETG team has taken over Eclipse. Kind of a controversial overtaking, as well as I am hearing that they are opening a bunch of mysterious balls, and that is a large way that they are overtaking. Now, they're also grinding. They're also getting a ton of shinies. You never want to downplay someone's accomplishments. This is that's the rules of Shiny War. It's fair and square, but it's definitely a little controversial, I would say. That is as a big overtaking. Good. I'm rooting for Team Eclipse, so I'm also biased. Good luck to you, Team Eclipse. Good luck to you, gamers. Hope you can come back. But honestly, it's really important in Shiny Wars. May the best Shiny Hunters win, regardless of who they are. May the best Shiny Hunters win. Good luck to all three of these teams here, honestly. Two people in chat said, what is this PC strat? Do you mean the healing strat? The PC strat where I teleport. I'll show you really quick. Run to the PC. Throw my Sweet Scent Pokemon in and out. I purposefully clear the bottom right box so I can do that faster. Whatever box is like adjacent to your Sweet Scent Pokemon. It's a fair bit faster. Probably like, I don't know the exact math, but it's a fair bit faster than healing at the PC. I don't do it all the time. It's one of those things like if you want to do it, hell yeah. And I do it whenever possible during Shiny War. I don't do it normally, almost ever, like outside of Shiny War. And then it's a fair bit faster. It's a fair bit faster if you want to. If you have the Sweet Scent Ocarina, you can just straight up open the PC and close it. Absolutely. Cassandra said the PC heal saves like 1 to 2 seconds each loop. Yeah, there you go. And how many times? Like, let's do the math. Fuck, let's do the math. Let's say you move the calculator away from the little puppy a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let's do the math. Okay. Let's say you do 1,000 encounters an hour. And every 30 encounters is one loop, right? So one heal. So you do 33, 34 heals. Let's do 33. You do 33 heals an hour, right? So if that's 1 second saved per loop, that's an extra 33 seconds an hour, right? That's not a ton, to be honest with you, so which is why I don't do it outside of war. But in war, over the course of a 400-hour war, right? 33 seconds an hour. If I do 400 hours, which is my plan, to do 400 hours played, that's 13,200 seconds saved throughout war. What is that? Divide that by 60, right? Seconds. Divide by 60 will give you 220. Is that like, that's insane. 220 minutes saved. That's actually like, I didn't even know it would be that much. Like 33 seconds an hour is like nothing, right? But when you do it for 400 hours, you're literally saving 4 hours. It's one of those things like during war, it's so long term that everything matters so much. So like this divided by 60, right? It's like you're saving like 3.5 hours by doing the PC heal over war versus not. Now, not exactly, because obviously you're not going to, spend the whole 400 hours doing ×5 hordes next to a PC. Most people in war aren't even doing free shunts like this. I'm doing it because I'm an Iron Man account and I only have so many Leppas. Yeah, someone said, or just pop Leppas. Exactly. A lot of main accounts are just spamming Leppas at every single spot. This spot was actually reserved for me for that. So it's a great question though. If you're doing free shunts during war, a way you can add on some extra time is by doing it. And those little seconds, dude, they add up a ton during war. Great question. I'm gonna do some good math. Wait, that's interesting. Tom said, has there been a 2-time Shiny War winner yet? No, I don't think it's been possible. That's a really interesting question. ETG could be the first, right? I think ETG is the first like repeat team really trying to go for it. They won the first war, and then Field Team 7 won the second war, and they're trying to go for it again this year. I think ETG could be the first team and potentially have some players, obviously how many players that were on that first team are also on the third year team, I don't know, but they could be the potentially first group of gamers to have some people win 2 Shiny Wars. Yeah, we've never seen that. We've never seen a single person win 2 Shiny Wars. That'd be really, really interesting. That'd be really cool to see the first ever duplicate winner, dude. High key hitting a shiny at 30,000 encounters feels the worst. I could not agree more. I think like 23 to 36,000 encounters is like the worst place to get a shiny. Maybe like 38k, 23k to 38k. It's the most common place, obviously, because I think it's lame. You either want to get a super rare shiny, like you either want to go super dry or you want to go super wet. I think it's the most boring, bro. I think 23 to 38k is the most boring place to get a shiny personally. I think I'd rather go drier or rather go wetter. And thanks to Patrouski luck, I honestly do that pretty often. So we just got to keep going, man. I'm happy to be dry. On that note, 83,000 encounters, pretty clean in that clip. Oh, I needed this, bro. Iron Squirtle. Oh, I needed to see an Iron Man get something and motivate me a little bit, bro. 4 minutes ago, got himself a shiny Yanma on an Iron Man account. Iron Squirtle, dude. Female Yanma, modest nature, 31 defense. We take those 19, 18 plus in a lot of stats. Dude, congratulations, man. I needed to see an Iron Man get a win, honestly. That is beautiful. Female shiny Yanma on an iron. Congratulations, Iron Squirtle. Wait, that's actually a genius idea in my opinion. Tom said would be cool if Altar and Cave introduced some legendary. Could you imagine like rotating legendaries? Like on certain gems they appear, like Regigigas or whatever. Or like the Azelf sprite line. That'd be totally like easy to add and like totally balanced and fine. That'd be like really fucking interesting. I'd be so interested in that, like so down for that. The ability of like having like go to ice gems specifically and having like a 6-hour time period to try to get Regi Ice and then waiting on the rotation. It'd be a little annoying, but I think it's like fun. I think like the variety is what PokeMMO really needed right now, is the variety of, like, people will complain no matter what. When there's variety, so I don't know. I think it's good variety personally, but you know, it's not for everybody. I think it'd be good variety. I'm honestly so down for that. Like legendary rotations at Altar and Cave. They can even introduce like Gen 6 Plus legends with that, or Gen 6 Plus Pokemon. Talk about that as well. Altar and Cave. That's how it was used in the past. Altar and Cave was used to introduce Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon before those regions were in the game. They could do a similar thing with Gen 6 and 7. Or more higher, to add future gen Pokemon into Pokemon without having the regions themselves. But alrighty, fellas, I only streamed for about 6 hours today. I've been doing like 10 to 12 every other day throughout this war, but I think today's going to be a nice, little more relaxed day, a little break day, and I'll probably take a full break day tomorrow as well. We'll have to see, keep my mind healthy, keep my stuff going, so I can make sure I can prioritize war and get my encounters. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream recap as per usual, as some nice second monitor content during your PokeMMO grinds. Hopefully you're getting some shinies. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. You can follow me on Twitch for streams whenever possible during Shiny War, and Discord's down below if you want to go above and beyond and support the content during war. It means the world. I will see you guys later, and hopefully I'll see you with a shiny very soon. But for now, peace Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who goes above and beyond, and thank you as the viewer to making it to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful today and maybe even a little bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.